Time for a quick take. Stephen A. Time is money. Boy, do I believe that. According to Micah Parsons, after seeing what other star defensive players such as T.J. Watt are demanding, Parsons says the longer the Cowboys take to extend him, the more it's going to cost them. S.A., are you surprised the Cowboys are doing this again?
I'm not surprised because they don't always make the wisest decisions when it comes to contracts. And obviously, Micah Parsons is a stud that you should want to keep and value. I'm just not going to hold Jerry Jones solely accountable for this. I'm going to also hold Micah Parsons. Maybe if you didn't open your mouth and say, I'm not going anywhere, this is where I want to be, and they can take their time, it's okay. Like you did in the past, Jerry Jones wouldn't feel compelled to do this. You didn't have to say that. If you remember a year ago, Molly, we were here on First Take, and I said, Micah Parsons, why are you saying that? Get your bag. Anything could happen. You could be on a practice field working out or whatever. What the hell are you saying that for? Don't say that. Go for it. And he was the one exuding patience and applying zero urgency to getting his bag. And I was like, nah, get your bag. So next time, be quiet and go get the bag.
Yeah. Speaking of urgency, I can't wait for football season. By the way, Stephen A., another good outfit by you. I'm so impressed.
Asiano, I will start with you. Is it now or never for Caleb Williams in Chicago?
No, he's got 2 more guaranteed years on his contract after this one. He was, as we just discussed, the number 1 pick. Those guys get a long leash. I do think there are some interesting factors here. They've built up a lot of good stuff around Caleb Williams. And then it comes out, the stuff in Seth Wickersham's book about how he didn't want to go to Chicago. I wonder if things go badly, how much patience that fan base will have. I get probably a lot because it's been so long since they've had a good quarterback, but he'll get some leash.
Yeah, I agree. There's more to dive into that. We will. But let's go to Jaden Daniels. Is he in the MVP race this season for sure?
I think he is. I think they surrounded him with all the talent that he wants. And being that dual threat, he's always able to get himself out of trouble no matter if that offensive line is good or not. I think not even a sneaky pick. I think he should be top 5 as far as MVP candidates.
And he is on ESPN Bet Sportsbook as far as the odds. And then getting away from the younger quarterbacks, D-Wood, what version of Dak Prescott do you expect to see this year?
Are we going to get the healthy version? That will tell everything because when Dak Prescott is healthy and he plays a full slate of games, guess what? He's a top 10 quarterback, and the Cowboys, they go to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. That's what you get with Dak Prescott. Get George Pickens coming over this year, who's in a contract year, to go along with CeeDee Lamb. I expect a big year out of Dak.
Maybe that's why Dak is optimistic heading into the season. He has only one thing on his mind right now.
I want to win a championship. Be damned if it's just for my legacy or it's for this team, for my personal being, for my sanity. The legacy will take care of itself. I have to stay where my feet are.
We're going to win. And when we win, our coaching staff is going to get raided and people are going to come after our coaches because we're going to win.
I love it. I love it from Brian Schottenheimer. Why not? Why back away from that stuff? Where we're just going to control, or doing Belichick. Like, everyone's got to have their own personality. Sure. If that's his personality, then I don't. When you're the Cowboys, it doesn't make any difference what you say. You're going to get all the attention and all the pressure and all the praise and all the blame, regardless, depending upon which way the circumstance goes. So I like it. And as far as Dak Prescott's legacy right now, he's a very rich man who's a very good player. But like Tony Romo before him, there's one big thing missing from the resume. Sure. Let's see if he can do it.
And that is the thing. We won't know. I mean, if he's fully healthy, to D. Wood's point, I think they have a good enough team that they can be in the playoffs this year. That's when it starts. That's when the evaluation of Dak Prescott moving forward starts, is once they get to the play. If they miss the playoffs, I think that's a flop. But if they get there, they have to start winning some games once they get there, right? His rookie season was about as close as they could, right? I mean, I know they've won first round game, but that game against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, but it feels like they haven't gotten much closer since then. So whatever it is about the Cowboys that when they get to the playoffs, they fizzle out, they've got to figure out a way to get it fixed.
So the answer to the question on the screen there right now, how important is this for Dak and his legacy and all the rest of that? It's the biggest contract in the history of the league. That adds some layer of attention to it as well. What do you think?
Yeah, he's played the game the right way with the contracts, but now he needs to postseason success. you think about the 90s and what those guys are able to walk around because they were able to win the championship, and they've been riding off of that coattail. I think Dak has to figure a way out to get it done, but his window is still open because he's a quarterback and quarterbacks play so much longer. They're building it the right way through the offensive line. They're young. But I think this year's season doesn't really rest on Dak Prescott. I think it rests on Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs because if they can come back, then they can maybe stop that leaky run defense because you can put that extra guy into the box. And they're going to need that because they're still light when it comes to the defensive line.
Yeah, but the attention will be on the quarterback, rightly or wrongly. Right. The Cowboys have been about the quarterback. They're about the star. They've had great ones. Roger Staubach won championships. Troy Aikman won championships. That's why I mentioned Romo. Romo was a terrific player who put huge numbers up, but didn't win the big ones. And here's Dak, who does a lot of the same things, and so we'll see which of those categories he's going to fall into.
Dak's he's heard all the noise. Like, he understands it. Like, that's when you could just tell by his facial expression when he talk about legacy. He knows it starts after the regular season. He's done everything as far as regular season is concerned. It's when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, and you talk about quarterback play in particular, your legacy starts in the postseason. That's where Dak Prescott has come up short.
Well, if you listen to the odds makers, they don't have them anywhere near the playoffs. They have them the fourth worst team in the NFC.
No.
I myself don't buy it. Let me put a bow on an incredible weekend in sports, take you through some of the things you may have made believe with our big fellow. Let's start with this one. D-Wood, would you believe this is finally the year Josh Allen leads Buffalo to a Super Bowl?
I would not believe it. I would not believe it. Listen, you would think everything this year is set up for Buffalo. The fact that they travel the least among any team in the National Football League this year, I think their team they're ready, they're there. But he hasn't been able to climb Mount Mahomes. So until I see it, what's Missouri, the show me state?
Yes.
Show me first before I believe in it.
That's right. He went to Wyoming, but you're bringing up Missouri.
That's right. That's right, I am.
He needs to show you.
Show me.
Bart Scott, is this the year? Is this finally the year for Josh Allen?
First of all, they need to make sure that James Cook is happy because, that's really not being reported on. But, there's so many other obstacles in his way. Joe Burrow can get his team to the postseason. But also Lamar Jackson. Remember last year, Zay Flowers got hurt, and that changed the dynamic of the playoffs. Bateman has stepped up. Likely's there. Can King Henry put up that same performance? So I'm going to say no. The field is too strong. If I had to pick, I'll pick the field.
Field's strong in part because of this team. I mean, they've been too good for too long to think that they're never, ever going to get over that hump. Plus, they play the Chiefs in the regular season every year, and they always beat them. So it's not like they can't do it. They haven't been able to do it in the postseason. I'm optimistic. I think this is a well-run organization that is not. They're not doing that thing, right? They're like, oh, we're going to stretch and make some move to get us over the hump. They're re-signing the guys in their core. They're building it and keeping it the right way. I think one of these years it gets rewarded.
Show me.
I can say the same thing about
their season did end in Missouri.
You can say the same thing about Baltimore.
Yeah.
You can say the same thing about Baltimore.
You can, absolutely. There's no question. I feel the same way about
They're
Lamar
in the same
Jackson
situation, except that the Ravens organization has won championships, and the Bills have been so achingly, painfully close so many times and been unable to do it. I actually do think it's not versus the field, but as far as who I would pick right now, I do think this is Buffalo's year. All right, D-Wood, the next one. Would you believe if I said someone other than Kansas City would win the AFC West? Because it's been almost a decade since anyone else has.
Man, I struggled with this one, but I'm going to say I would not. I do think Kansas City has gotten better. Particularly, I think the offensive line would be better this year. But let me tell you something. Denver's here. Listen, Denver is they're going to cause hell this year. I think their defense is going to be even better than what it was last year. Second year with Bo Nix and Sean Payton. The Los Angeles Chargers is going to be better. And oh, by the way, Pete Carroll is now the head coach with the Las Vegas Raiders. So it's going to be tough in that AFC West.
Dan, if I said to you, I believe that's the best division in football. Going in, I would predict this will be the best division in the NFL.
I think, yes. They had 3 teams in the playoffs last year, 2 of which were probably ahead of schedule in Denver and the Chargers. And I think those are teams that have gotten better. And they're coached by, championship coaches. Jim Harbaugh is a college national champion. Obviously, Sean Payton has won the Super Bowl. And to D-Wood's point, Pete Carroll, I mean, that Raiders team is going to be, it's not going to underachieve.
No.
Right? Like, I don't know how good they are roster-wise, but no, I think that's the toughest division.
I believe that, when you look at the field, I think that it's not a fear factor there, right? Because you believe that, hey, my coach is just as savvy as that coach. when you talk about that division, you have 4 Hall of Fame coaches all have had success at some level. And I believe that the field, it used to be that playing in that division, Kansas City had 3 homecoming games.
Right.
So now they're going to have to go and be battle tested to get through the regular season.
Remember, in Kansas City, Denver had them beat. It was a block, right? Like they're right there. I don't know. Denver's going to be a pretty good team.
Our mind